options account. That's banking you can feel good about.
At Shields, we're celebrating Mum with massive savings on gifts she'll love. Save $1,000 on this diamond ring. Silver zirconia pendant, now 60% off. Make and receive calls with the Active Pro smartwatch at $89, up to 60% off store-wide. Shields.
Tonight, enough is enough. Thousands march through Brisbane and on the Gold Coast calling for an end to violence against women. Desperate parents confront alleged abductors after their child was taken from a Logan skate park.
The vintage wedding dress, the letter, a love story for the ages.
Our love never died.
Now, Ted's selfless gift to a new generation.
I love it.
A heartwarming story of lifelong love. 7 News Monday.
If first impressions count, it's hard to imagine what international visitors thought arriving at Brisbane Airport in the 60s and 70s. Today, we have a modern, world-class terminal, but once it was little more than a glorified shed. Max Butcher reports.
I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again.
Leaving or arriving from overseas in the 60s and 70s, passengers used a converted World War II hangar. Hardly the gateway for a city eyeing an international reputation.
For those people farewelling friends and relatives, it was a case of a quick hug before they passed through this final sliding door into the customs area.
An approval had been in place for years, but it wasn't until April 1974 that plans for a replacement were revealed.
It would be a wonderful thing for Queensland if we could become the #1 national airport.
Construction got underway quickly on what was always meant to be a temporary terminal. It would be anything but. By the late 80s, it had become an international embarrassment.
It's been variously described as a barn, a disgrace, and a blot on the landscape.
Its shortcomings highlighted in 1987 when marquees were needed to cope with the 30,000 lions arriving for their first international convention in the Southern Hemisphere. And that was just a year before Expo. Canberra had been promising a world-class terminal to spare travellers the tarmac trot.
It's one of the few international terminals in the world where steps are still used to get passengers on and off jumbos.
I think it's a disgrace for Brisbane.
But it'd be another 4 years before the plans were released. Construction would take another 4 and $250 million until finally in September 95, the international terminal, as we know it now, opened.
Here we've got space, light, colour, elegance.
Today, Brisbane International handles almost 5 million travellers a year, and when American Airlines and Delta touch down before Christmas, it will take the number of international carriers to 26, connecting us to 30 destinations around the globe. Work has already begun on a $5 billion 10-year expansion of Brisbane's airports.
That will see a revamp of this international terminal, our domestic terminal, an entire airport precinct, as well as a new third terminal.
On to the weather now, Tony. How's it looking for the week ahead?